What's up again, guys? Brian here at 3TR, and I got another series review. This time I'm reviewing the 4th episode in the Blacklist series, simply titled The Stewmaker. Now, the Stewmaker episode starts off a little bit weird. It shows this guy kind of going to this apartment complex, wanting to apparently get the ground floor, and he starts taking off makeup, kind of taking off his hair, and this guy's completely hairless. And he starts sitting up, which was something I hadn't really seen before in a TV show. He starts setting up his own biohazard center. He starts wrapping up the entire apartment, setting up these chemicals. So it's clear that this guy is some type of mop-up person, my guess. This was just my guess as the episode was going on. We then zip to Elizabeth, kind of getting ready for a court case. And, you know, she's talking with her husband, playing it all cool, like she doesn't know anything. And that conversation really doesn't go anywhere. And then she heads over to court to deal with this witness who apparently is going to be testifying against one of the, I'm guessing, top members of the Mexican cartel. But one of the panels on the jury stand certainly gets a heart attack. And there's a big mad rush to evacuate everybody, and she's transporting her witness. They get him to safety because she thinks that this may be some type of ploy. And it turns out it is, because the witness is soon captured. He's drugged by apparently some paid men. And she realizes this immediately, tries to run back to save the witness, but obviously the witness is gone. She then contacts Raymond, and you know, he's kind of being a bit optimistic, saying, well, if you don't have him by now, chances are he's dead and you're not going to find him. And then it's then later picked up that someone actually caught the particular van in which the witness was being transferred to a certain motel. And Elizabeth and the rest of the FBI go there. And then Raymond asks her to apparently go near the bathtub and smell near the drain. And it smells like chemicals. And then he identifies that the Stewmaker is there. And the funny thing about the Stewmaker was that this apparently is a top high priority person on Raymond's blacklist, because even Raymond himself stated that even he doesn't know much about him, and that he himself has tried to locate the Stewmaker and he's been unsuccessful. So that's what really made the Stewmaker an interesting character, because if this is someone that not even Raymond, with all of his mass resources and his tactical brilliant mind of being able to have total control of a situation, hasn't been able to find over 20 years, then this must be a pretty serious contender. As the episode plays out, Elizabeth tries to make a deal with the head cartel guy, and she says, "Well, we want you to tell us about the Stewmaker." And he says, "I don't know what you're talking about." And then they try to offer him a deal for some protection, and then the convoy, and as they're transferring the guy to a helicopter, the convoy is attacked, and you know, the funny thing about these attacks is that I'm finding it kind of ridiculous how the FBI on their own home turf can't even stop a simple attack like this. I mean, maybe it kind of shows that maybe this version of the FBI is much less prepared for a serious situation than probably the real FBI would be. And Elizabeth is kidnapped, and so now Raymond actually has to team up with Agent Ressler in order to find Elizabeth. And so they meet up with the cartel guy, and then the really good thing I liked about this scene was that Agent Ressler actually was able to portray being a dirty agent for a little bit in order to get some information. And the cartel guy says that, you know, I don't know exactly how to contact the Stewmaker, but I do have a contact. And then as the episode progresses on, we're shown that Elizabeth is still captured by the Stewmaker, and apparently he's going to dissolve her with his chemicals. And he's simply talking to her, and she's trying to be all, you know, how do you say this? She tries to do what any agent would do. She tries to talk him down to get some information. And he says that he does this because of, you know, he wants to transfer energy, and that it's nature, and that he simply is doing what nature wants him to do, but he just does it faster and cleaner because he leaves absolutely no trace of DNA. And really, as the episode really comes to an end, Raymond uses his own resources in order to find out exactly where Elizabeth is. And there's this really great scene between, because he actually manages to save Elizabeth right before she's about to be killed. And Raymond has this really interesting conversation with the Stewmaker, and he makes this kind of accusing gesture that maybe there's something wrong with the Stewmaker. He's maybe telling him his life story and that maybe this guy can be saved. But Raymond says, you know, just screw it. And he pushes the guy into his own chemicals and, he starts to dissolve. And as the episode comes to an end, Elizabeth is saved by the FBI while Raymond's there. And she asks Raymond, you know, how can you do such a thing? Like, you realize you're a monster, and how do you live with yourself? And Raymond says, I can live with myself because I saved your life. So this shows you that I don't really think Raymond takes anything really personal, but that he is at peace with what he really is, and he's accepted the fact that, yeah, I'm not a good person, and I will only do things that benefit me. So in a way, he kind of reminds me of a bit of a Jack Sparrow kind of person, someone who, if it's in his means to help him achieve his own goals, he will do it, but, you know, he's not going to put himself at risk to save your ass because, you know, it doesn't benefit him, which is really one of the main characteristics that, for me, makes Raymond a very interesting character. I will say, in a whole, this has to be my favorite episode in the Blacklist so far, simply because this was the first episode in which it didn't go over topics that we were already familiar with. One main hint of the next episode that they mention is that they definitely are going to bring the storyline involving Elizabeth's husband up to the front ground. So it looks like that storyline is going to get some proper light and some exposure, because I'm willing to guess that this is going to be a plotline that really is going to have a profound effect on Elizabeth, and maybe even, in a sense, maybe strengthen her relationship with Raymond, because apparently Raymond is like the person who you cannot trust, but you know he will give you the answers that you want. And I think that's really going to play out well in the coming episodes. So if I had to give this episode a rating, I gotta be honest, I would give this a 9 out of 10. This was unquestionably the best episode of Blacklist so far. The Stewmaker was unquestionably the most interesting member of the Blacklist that we've had so far, and I can only wonder how the writers at NBC are going to be able to top this particular episode. If you like this video review, please like, comment down below, and please subscribe to check for me my future series reviews, movie reviews, video game reviews, and topic videos. And you can also press one of the links in the description down below to follow me on Twitter and friend me on Facebook. And like always, thank you guys for watching, and I'll see you next time.